What is up, everybody? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news off the back of yesterday's episode, which is just insanity. I'm sure more videos coming on that soon. If you guys did miss it, the debate currently between Hastr0 CEO and Thorn, each calling each other around the words, around the realm of a liar, and other things coming out about that during the ESL versus Flashpoint controversy and drama we're going to be talking about probably for the next few weeks as both leagues try and solidify their teams. Now we have another debate out there we actually were worried about when this OG roster first signed, that being 3 former IGLs. We suspect the future leader of this team to be the young Aleksib, who, devastated that ENCE roster during that trade, which I'm sure we'll still be talking throughout this year as well, as OG this way, ENCE this way, ever since his departure and replacement by Sunny on that roster. We have a great clip out there, again, brought to us by Blast Pro, and why I opened up by mentioning ESL alongside Flashpoint is because Blast Pro has been doing things really, really well. We have rumors out there, potentially a Blast Pro major to be after ESL 1 Rio major, still in 2020. I think it was actually first brought to light by Decay. We have NBK, other pro players giving direct praise to Blast Pro, their new studio, their production quality, the teams being right next to each other, being yell at each other, the crowds being right there as well. Guys, I won't deny it. 2019, at one point in time, I hated Blast Pro and what they were trying to do. That script has completely reversed itself, and I need to apologize for my initial thoughts on them, although I think they were maybe a closer to fair back in the day, 2018, 2019. Blast Pro is doing amazing things, one of them being player comms. Aleksib actually caught on comms telling the entire team to just stop talking.
Okay, guys, I
can
have
go
an
blue.
Aleksib, give me
Aleksib,
give me drop.
Nathan has long spawn.
Guys, can you not talk? Throw an Xbox smoke. Let's just play a default towards, from lower. Okay? A default from lower, okay?
Yeah, I'll hold lower here.
I'll do an Xbox smoke.
And this was certainly a big debate when they first joined, right? MBK, Valde, alongside Aleksib, you got 3 former IGLs. One is supposed to be the only guy talking, if not the primary IGL, at least on one side. And maybe MBK is a secondary IGL. I will say the one defining take I took away from this, Aleksib, the young star, said, "Can everyone stop talking?" And everyone did stop talking. Besides that as well, the Blast Pro Spring Series, if you guys did see that, OG did make the finals, so they did make Final 2 alongside G2 in a very close series. G2 take the ultimate win, but either way, both those teams will join the rest of at the Blast Pro Finals, their first big boy event together as this roster, which I'm super excited about, and it's very cool to see. I love hearing player comms when it comes time for Call of Duty. They play these quite a bit, and you get to hear these interactions we rarely see, right? We've seen clips here and there. We've seen some TOs out there leak clips of things like what Yanko was saying as well, which you shouldn't, but I love hearing player comms, and I would love to see more organizers actually take this kind of thing, because otherwise we don't have videos like this. Obviously, an issue that OG is trying to get along with is, hey, you're the dedicated IGL, you should be doing all the talking, whilst the other former IGLs got to reel it back and learn to kind of keep those reins tied back and let someone else do the talking. Certainly those issues are coming together slowly but surely in this group as well. If you guys did miss it, go into the results. Here are Blast Pro Showdown teams. If you guys do remember, it's going to be a heavy-hitting roster of teams there. 2 teams from that field will still join the Blast Pro Finals, and it's going to be, I would say, an unfortunate run for 100Thieves and EG. If you guys did see the Spring Series, though, Group C play, EG, OG went back and forth during both those series, both very, very close, I would say, in terms of, especially when it comes down to map 3 on both of them, being extremely close. OG gets the upper hand over, potentially the second best North American team in EG. 100Thieves don't win a single map, despite their series, I would say, at least a few of those maps being close. That's a bit of a disappointment. If I'm being honest with all of you guys, to see them work at a facility and try and bring that to life, and then to come out here, albeit in a pretty, all the groups were fairly tough. Group B was your Group B of death, but 100Thieves to not win a single map, it was iffy to see. And then I got to hand it to G2. They're looking strong and consistent, coming off, I would say, a pretty decent 2019 end as well, ever since those very expensive changes, acquiring a couple crazy guys as well. They looked impressive. I'm very curious what G2 will do this year. Will this be their final year of rising? Either way, guys, you do have our Blast Pro final teams solidified, besides the 2 that will come from the Showdown. And again, that production, that series has been so fun to watch, albeit it's been super weird to watch each and every group, each and every weekend, and then to have a Showdown Showdown and then to have finals. It's like a 5-part, one single event. Despite all that, it's very, very fun to watch, and I think it's a very nice twist from the usual Blast Pro format. You guys can give your thoughts down below on that. And kind of bouncing off that as well, we actually have Hastr0 taking to Twitter. Our boy Nell also responding. God, I love this Frenchman. He'll respond no matter what. He'll be so blunt and forward because Hastr0 making a very weird statement. I wasn't sure how to take this. I don't know how you guys took this as well. You know, the fact that he came out and said that he misses the French era back in the day when it was not Envy, it was actually EnvyUs. You know, I would say he's probably highlighting the 2015, as he does further clarify 2017 era, as we have not really seen a rise of French team besides Vitality over the past 2 to 3 years. Vitality, I do believe, winning more titles in the past year than French CS as a whole has in the past 4 to 5 years. And so I thought it was very weird that Hastr0, you know, I would say over about a week or so, ever since they made their North American roster changes, I actually had to check to make sure Envy was still an American roster, which they barely are. And I would say a very weird mix. It's just super weird for me to have a CEO out there so late after their roster change come back and say, hey, I sure do miss our French CSGO roster. I think if we stuck it out, we could have won another major by now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with it. I'm not really, you know, too angry. I'm just a bit weirded out by why this is the time to say that, especially given the controversy around that new roster that he did kind of just compliment or kind of comment on as well, saying, hey, we just, you know, rebooted our roster around Nifty, and we all know that story, and he hasn't said anything about that. I thought it was weirdly timed. I don't know how I feel about a CEO coming out after they've made this new roster, which is, you know, not French, and say, man, I miss the French CS times. I don't think French CS will ever get back to where it was, with albeit, especially as of recently, Vitality has shown strides, huge strides to getting back to that gigantic French era that once was. And so, I don't know, if I was Vitality, I might be offended. If I was other fans out there, I might be confused. And still, I beg the question, Hastr0, what are you doing with the Envy roster and the Nifty situation? Are you not going to say anything? I don't think you will. Yeah, besides all that, guys, a crazy week for CSGO does continue. If you guys want to stop by for other esports and gaming news, it's been a wild ride. Thank you all for watching as per usual. The battle does continue between, you know, Astralis, and we also have Thorn being tossed in the mix. ESL and Flashpoint continue going back and forth. We have apparently Hastr0 missing the French CS times. We'll see if Vitality can fulfill maybe some hopes and dreams of that and bring French CS back to the top throughout this year, which I would say is certainly a possibility. 100Thieves had a pretty sucky event themselves for Blast Pro Spring Series, which continues to be a great event itself, and OG and G2 are the latest teams to prove themselves worthy of a Blast Pro final. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy breaking down CSGO news nearly daily and other esports and gaming news as well. Drink your coffee, drink your water, stay tuned. We'll be back here all day and tomorrow as well for all you CSGO fans.